But just so I can tell everybody the background as to why we're doing the audit, if I could just have a couple minutes and then I'll.
You can have all the time you need.
Well,
I'm thrilled to
I
hear
don't.
that.
I'm getting close to bedtime with 2 little kids, so I don't have that much. But
Okay.
I do want to just sort of piggyback off what Matthew was just saying. That is the gist of our audit. When we first started, we put out guidelines for what the county needs to follow in the future. There were a number of them that we posted. It was about green infrastructure, sustainability, things that the county hadn't done. One that stood out was our own fleet in the county has 700 vehicles, and we had like 5 at the time that were electric. So, that really spurred what we should be doing in the county. And our guidelines were only the start. And, talking to the new county executive, she's very encouraged to do more of those things as well, which I think is great for everyone. So when we saw that, we put the Clean Air Fund down as an audit. I mean, it just, for so many years, we're hearing how communities try to apply for money. They're not getting it. They're not understanding sort of the details of the guideline. And the county has to do a better job of going through that process. So our audit is ongoing, which is why I can't get into the details of it. Hopefully it's wrapped up in the next couple of months. But the audit goes from January of 2021 till September of 2023. So that's where we're at. I mean, the fund, as was mentioned, gets roughly $10 million a year that we're seeing. That money needs to go out. It should not be sitting in a fund. It needs to go help these communities that, have air quality issues like, well, we all do in this region, but immediate assistance. And I know that you went through a number of who has received the funds over the years. But I think us doing this audit will hopefully give us greater guidelines in the future, especially when it goes to helping people learn about this fund itself. A lot of people don't know that. And that's why I'm so happy to just give you that briefing right there. And myself and my staff are going to stay on. I just wanted to make sure that that's why we did the audit. It's something that we have to do. And, hopefully we can do more and more of these. And by listening in on this call tonight, we'll hopefully learn more about what you want us to investigate, where our county funds are going. So just wanted to say that and let you get back. But I will stay on. Just wanted to let that be clear. And the audit, we believe, will be done in the next 2 months. It will be publicly posted on our website, but we'll send it to this group immediately.
Corey, thank you more. And on behalf of the over 60 people that are on this call, thank you for being here and for your commitment to do that audit. It means a lot.
I think those projects were great. We were curious about what the process was for receiving those projects. What other projects did they receive? What was the criteria for picking those? Again, we never got a response. So, Mr. O'Connor, if you are checking into, that process, I'm wondering if there's some way to look at that form that they have, or to look into who's responsible for, making those decisions. Because
yeah, I don't know if I can jump in, but yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's sort of part of this, and we'll find out the details of it. But yeah, that's part of it as well. So thank you. I won't interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely, and I appreciate that.
Kathleen Skutnicki asked a question that she posed very early on, but she reframed it as, how can we prevent local politicians from using funds for other purposes? And I think it's perhaps we can address this in both directions, the community trust and also the Clean Air Fund, as 2 separate questions there.
So is the question how you can stop them from using it for other things? That was actually a couple months back. There was actually talk of the board changing that 5% to even a higher percentage. Luckily, that did not occur at the time. But those are the things like we really have to look after because, in theory, if you get enough votes on one of those local boards in so many ways to change it from 5% to something different, and this was when we announced our audit, this was a big issue. You can do it to plug the holes in the budget. I think that was mentioned before, and that's not the purpose of these funds. And so I think having groups like yours, having, new health department, new people on these boards to make sure that stuff doesn't happen, that will go a very long way. But that's the kind of stuff that if we're not watching can happen. And it's scary because the money shouldn't go to plug in our budget at the county because somebody made a bad deal 5 years ago. And I think that's something that why this fund is important, that it goes to the right places. So sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but I thought maybe I could help with that one.
No, you're the definitive person to respond to some of these things. So we really appreciate it.